So today's my topic. Do Buddhists ever eat meat? Wow, let me ask you. Help me, the Dharma school students. You remember what did you eat yesterday? What did you eat yesterday? Tell me. You don't remember what did you eat today? Yesterday? Did you eat hamburger? Sandwich? Soup? Huh? Try to remember what you ate yesterday. Is it? Right? Okay. At the festival time, we sell a lot of chickens. And our chicken, I help our chicken. And how many chickens are there? And I feel like, wow, as a Buddhist minister, and I'm cutting the chicken body. And I'm saying, I'm sorry, namami dabutsu, namami dabutsu, namandabutsu, right? I'm sorry, I'm taking your life, and I'm going to sell this one, and sorry, namami dabutsu, right? And then also, terry burger, do you? I love that. And then, chicken salad, right? Shredded chicken, Girl Scout do, right? And wonton, oh, that's my favorite. People like it. How many bags of wonton? There's a 200,000 or something. Huge amount of wonton. That's a bestseller we do. And I put a meat in there too, right? And what else? Dango dog. That's a good snack too. All right, we just always sell the dango dog first. So thinking about, we're the Buddhists, we're the Zen Buddhist temple, but we do cook the meat and we eat it, we sell it. That's interesting, isn't it? So, who allow us to do that? Have you ever thought about that? Zen Buddhism is a unique Buddhist tradition. And particularly, I think we should really appreciate Shinran and Shinran's teacher, Honen, to made a Pure Land Buddhist very unique to all of us. Not only ordained ministers, not only monks and nuns. As those teachers, Honen and Shinran, put down the Pure Land Buddhism, Amida Buddha's spiritual revelation to every one of us. So I want to talk about that Shinran's Honen's later on, but first of all, and then I want to say, Shinran particularly made Shinran's teaching unique. I think that's 2 points. Number one, eating meat, right? And then number 2 is a marriage. The Shinran publicly married to a Shinni, right? So before that, I'm sure that then Buddhist, the ministers and a lot of people married secretly, but they didn't really publicly do that. The Shinran very honest, I'm gonna marry to a Shinni. What does it mean? He opened the liberation for the women, gender issue. Women were not, at that time, the people say, women cannot be enlightened, cannot become a Buddha. A woman has to change the sex and change, going to becoming the male, and then you can finally become a Buddha. But Shinran said, that's not right. So he decided to marry to a Shinni. And then Shinran taught a Shinni about Amida Buddha's teaching all life. And then that's the path for the woman to take a special path to become a Buddha as well. So I really think Zen Buddhism, eating meat and marriage issue, 2 are very, very important. Make the Zen Buddhism very special and then unique teaching compared to other Buddhist teachings. Okay, so next slide, please. All right, So talking about, before the Shakyamuni was born, there is some kind of teaching about Jainism in India. And Jainism is sort of a very strict eating habit. And their word is ahimsa. Ahimsa is without harm. So, of course, they don't eat any meat, they don't eat egg, no milk, they don't eat anything coming from the ground either. So after the Jainism, the Shakyamuni Buddha was born. And Shakyamuni Buddha's teachings, very interesting. Sort of all the monks and nuns living in monastic area, they receive a donated meal from villagers. So that's alm, A-A-L, alm food. They just hold a bowl and then begging the food. So they have to eat whatever the villagers prepared. So that's a villager's practice. Villagers get up early and prepare a meal and then donate to the monks and nuns. That's the villagers' practice. So those are nuns and monks never say thank you to the villagers because that's the villagers' practice. Okay, so, and then also at that time, monks and nuns are not supposed to grow vegetables and then cook vegetable and store all the food either. So they have to receive a food from the villagers. Next, please. So next year, I had a very interesting opportunity to visit a Theravada Buddhist temple in Berkeley. So, and then they said, I'll give you a lunch. I said, wow, I was very excited. What kind of lunch they are going to give me? And I was sort of like, well, probably the vegetarian. So let's, please, next one. So those are the Theravada Buddhist monks wearing the orange robe, right? And then I thought, wait a minute, I don't think they are vegetarians because they are pretty much well-fed. And they are pretty large. Their tummy is pretty big too. So I wonder what kind of food they eat. So I'll show you what kind of food they have. Next one, please. Yeah, this one is sort of several meals. Let's see, I sold a tamagoyaki egg omelette. I said, that's not vegetarian. They eat egg. All right, so next please. This one is clearly, that's a pork meat. It's a little bit fatty to me. So, but pork meat, spicy pork meat, right? And next one, please. This one looks like a white fish. That was delicious. I liked it. So you see, those monks eat meat and fish and chicken too. So I was very curious. Oh, because the Theravada Buddhist people always follow what the Shakyamuni said, right? So I asked one of the Theravada Buddhist monks, and what is the rule? You can eat meat and fish and chicken, everything. They said, next one please, there is a rule, pure meat rule. Pure meat rule is 3 respect. There is 3 points. If the monks and nuns have not seen, heard, or suspected that the animal has been killed intentionally and specifically for him and her. That's the rule. So if the monks don't know, didn't see, hear, or see, or no suspect, oh, this meat was killed for me intentionally, in that case, Theravada Buddhist people and monks and nuns can eat those meals. I said, that's interesting. That's very interesting. So as a matter of fact, Shakyamuni, while he was alive, he ate meat too. So his last meal, you remember, he got donated meal from Chunda. That was a pork. And he ate it. And unfortunately, the food was a little bit poison in there. It wasn't intentionally poison, but it was old somehow. There is no refrigeration at that time, so it was old, stale somehow. And then Shakyamuni got sick and had a tummy ache, and eventually he passed away. See? So Shakyamuni was eating meat too. And then also when he was under the meditating, he received a milk gruel from Sudatta too. So he was drinking milk too. You see? But again, Shakyamuni is one of the disciple. His name is Devadatta. Devadatta was a very strict man. So he wants to make his own Sangha. So he suggested Shakyamuni Buddha, you are so naive. We have to make very strict rule. But Shakyamuni said, no, I don't think so. As we can eat meat and enjoy it and appreciate it. That's what Shakyamuni said. But my question is, those monks and nuns are okay because they receive a food without knowing, without seeing, without having any suspect that meat was killed intentionally, specifically for me. But how about the person who butchered, slaughtered, and sold the meat? How about those people? Was that they're out of enlightenment? Right? So, next one, please. So that this picture shows a little bit that Buddhism came from the southern routes in Sri Lanka, Burma, Thailand. Those are the Buddhism, as we call it, Theravada Buddhism. We just showed you all the yellow robe people. And then northern part is Mahayana Buddhism. We are in Mahayana, and a big vehicle everybody can get on. So the Mahayana route came from India, China, and Korea, and Japan, United States, all over. And Theravada Buddhist temple is located in the United States as well. So, next one, please. So when Mahayana Buddhism came to China, it's a little bit changed because Chinese people thought eating meat sort of extinguishes the Buddhahood potential in all beings, which is against Buddha's great compassion. We're talking about Buddha nature here. And Chinese people sort of very much interested in that Buddha nature. Buddha nature is your potential to become a Buddha. So not only human, Chinese people immediately thought, yes, cow has a Buddha nature potential, and chicken has a Buddha nature potential, and then fish also. So if so, we shouldn't eat those cows and chicken and fish, right? And then also transmigration concept in the 6 realms. And sort of, they also have a Confucianism. So they believe, my father passed away, but I don't know which realm my father went. What if he went to the world of animal? I don't eat my father. What if my mother also went to the world of animal? I don't want to eat my mother. So those concepts really, really getting popular, and particularly in China. So that's why the Mahayana Buddhism in China made a vegetarian food. Next one, please. Is we call it Fuxia cuisine, Fuxia. So no meat involved, no meat. involved at all. So when you go to a Shilai temple, right? I went there, and I really enjoy their vegetarian plate too. They always make a vegetarian lunch. So particularly Chinese Zen Buddhism is a non-meat cuisine. So this Mahayana Buddhism came to Japan. Next one, please. So this is, as you know, is our Shinran Shonin master, and then his teacher Honen, right? So those are the Pure Land Buddhist kind of pioneers. So Pure Land Buddhism became so popular in Japan. And then teaching of Amida Buddha. So teaching Amida Buddha is just encompass everyone, not only monks and nuns, and everyone can get onto the big vehicle, and everybody has a potential to becoming a Buddha. All right. So Shinran's question was a lot of questions he had to Honen. And then Shinran asked, number one, Master Honen, I have somebody I really like, and I'm thinking to marry her. Is that against the monks and nuns rule in Shin Buddhism and Pure Land Buddhism? And Honen said, no. If you want to marry someone, go ahead. Particularly if the marriage helps you to pursue the path of Nembutsu, go ahead to marry any lady you love. But if the marriage does bother you, you don't have to marry either. So take any way that makes you feel comfortable to take a path of Nembutsu. That's what Honen said. Next question, Shinran said, how about eating meat? Is that okay to eat meat? Honen's answer is the same. If eating a meat makes you easy to say Namo Amida Butsu, go ahead, enjoy eating the meat. If the eating meat bothers you, forget it. You don't have to do that. See, it's very, very much human-based. So that's the great suggestion that Shinran received from Honen. Of course, Amida Buddha's vow to everyone and liberate every one of us, not only monks and nuns, all the people, butchers, slaughters, and peddlers, all the meat owners in stores, everybody has to be encompassed, and then they all receive Amida Buddha's deep compassion to lead you to the path of Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu. So, next one, please. Before that, one more. Okay. So this is what it is. So as I said, Shinran said, peddlers. That means what? The merchants, right? And then hunters. Hunters is who catch the animal, butcher the animal, and slaughters, who are like stones and ties and pebbles, are all grasped and never abandoned by Amida Buddha's great compassion. So even you eat meat, there is no hindrance at all. Rather, Amida Buddha wants to liberate you who really do a normal life as a human. See, this is really a Jodo Shinshu Shin Buddhism for very lay-oriented, not only particularly ordained monks and nuns, it's to every one of your happiness, your meaning of your life. So do your normal life, and then encounter the Amida Buddha's teaching and hear Namo Amida Butsu. So as you see, the Shinran's teaching really is inclusive, include everyone, no matter your ethnic background, the gender issue, education level, doesn't matter at all. Encompass everyone. Universality and then equality and non-discriminatory teaching. It's very, I think it's very important in a contemporary society, because always poor and rich, educated and uneducated, doesn't matter at all. That's the Shinran's teaching. So, last one please. So, as you know, as before you eat meat, how you say? Itadakimasu. Itadakimasu. Itadakimasu is, itadaku is I receive. I receive. I receive a vegetable, I receive beef, I receive chicken, I receive fish, right? They are giving us in human their precious life to support my life every day. So I say, itadakimasu. Thank you very much. And Namo Amida Butsu. We are under the same liberation, same light, and same wisdom and compassion coming from Amida Buddha. And then ending is Gochiso sama deshita. And so gochiso is a feast. Gochiso. It was a wonderful meal. Gochiso sama deshita. Thank you very much. And Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. So this itadakimasu and gochiso sama has a deep meaning. It's not like, well, when you hear itadakimasu, we can eat. Not only that, we're just looking at the plate, what in there, vegetable, all the meat coming to my plate, and someone caught it, and someone delivered it, and someone cooked it, and someone delivered this dish to my table. So, itadakimasu. And arigatou. Thank you. Namo Amida Butsu. And gochiso sama deshita. Right? So, at this Dharma message, I really want to share the Shinran, and particularly coming from the Honen's teaching, it's Pure Land Buddhism for lay-oriented, not selected people. And particularly eating meat in marriage is a very important Buddhist factors to make a teaching as liberal and democratic and make the teaching for every one of us. So, thank you very much for listening to my message, and I hope you enjoy the vegetable every time you eat, and our chicken salad, and chicken teriyaki, and we sometimes say when you cut it, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you for sharing your life with me. Thank you. So join me, Kasho, please. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu.